to the channel. My name is Thomas, and for the past almost 2 years now, I've been on a weight loss, weight maintenance, and now money-making journey. So this week, I wanted to go and start back off at my roots, right? Where the channel started, and that is with my weight. This week has been fun. It's been great. It's been cold and wet, and that perfect fall weather that we all know and love. And as a result, I had a slight uptick in weight. I'm now at 151 pounds even. It's kind of fun. On Friday, we had our work provided a taco truck as kind of a way of saying thank you for the hard work we've been putting in. So that was nice. I enjoyed myself there. So that's probably what explains the slight uptick, but I am not, like I said, worried, and I expect that to come back down soon. My exercise is going to be going up there in these next couple of days and possibly weeks. I have a huge tree in my house, or not in my house, but on my property, and I am out there this time every year for quite a long time, almost daily, raking up those leaves because there are a lot of them. In addition to that, I'm doing my regular walks, workouts, moving around just in general as much as I can throughout the day, and of course watching what I eat and watching what I drink as well. No alcohol really for me. Never have any drinks really that have calories. It's just not really my thing. I just don't like to drink my calories. I feel like that's just, you lose it too quickly. So that's been the weight maintenance there. Again, good, even keel. That's the kind of the point, is it's a little boring because, you know, not much is changing, for better or for worse. So moving on to the YouTube stats, we had a good week here. We grew from 1,714 to 1,715 subs. Views, we are now at 99,497, and our watch hours are holding pretty steady at 5,953.7. So it's great to see the channel moving back in the right direction after a couple of weeks of losses. Speaking of losses, we are now going to flip it to gains, and we're going to move on over to the path to 1 million. This video is going to be more about my strategy, my wealth building strategy, and more specifically my Fidelity portfolio. So what I'm going to do is we're going to run through the numbers real quick, and then I'm going to break down what I have picked, or why I picked what I picked for my portfolio, and the reasoning behind it, and hopefully you guys can learn and give me some comment and feedback. Anything is welcome, believe me, anything that you have here. So 3,801 days from when we started this journey. We are now 3,793 days left to meet that goal. A total saved and invested. So as we know, the smaller number here is my Fidelity account, and then this is the equity in my home. As we get further into this journey, I'm going to be analyzing my finances a little bit more closely. So you saw a jump here. Last week I was at $70,000. This week I'm at $82,550. As I get further in, I'm dialing it in a little bit closer, so you're not going to see jumps the same way as it, for example, from last week to this week. So it's gonna tighten up a little bit, get a little bit more accurate. So we are looking at 83,063. Yes, my math is good. Okay, 83,063 saved, which means that dollars until my goal, I'm at $916,937. Now, that sounds like a lot, but when I started this journey, I wasn't even thinking about the equity in my home. I wasn't thinking about my emergency savings. I wasn't thinking about all these things, but it does all count, right? These things all matter in the grand scheme of things, and if we kind of add it into this kind of all-encompassing financial ball, it starts to get a little bit bigger, right? And so again, the goal here is I invested a little bit over $100 from last week's video to this week's video. Now again, $100 is not making a dent in it. We're not going to be taking home the big bucks with that. But the idea here is we're taking just little bits here and there, and we're just kind of throwing them in there and hoping that over time that they will grow and grow and grow. That snowball effect, the debt snowball, the compounding, and basically we're hoping that it will grow and grow and grow, because that $500 now in 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 years will hopefully be worth more than that. And if we keep that up, if we keep moving forward, we're going to get hopefully close to that $1 million. So I laid out for you guys my monthly costs here. I had somebody actually ask me in my last video saying that $150 for food seems really, really low. And I should have prefaced this by saying a couple of things. Number one, my diet is typically one meal a day. So that's dinner. And number two, I never really eat out. I don't go to restaurants. Occasionally, I'll have my cheat meals. Again, I'll go out. But I stick to budget places. And then on top of that, I've been living by myself for about 10 years now, a little over 10 years. So I've gotten pretty good at bargain hunting and finding, good deals and stuff. And of course, getting on this diet and being super strict with what I eat, it kind of helps me to have that kind of strict plan, that strict regimented plan for, for my groceries, and because it also reflects well on the budget. So again, just wanted to put that out there. That's what the $150 was about. I wanted to explain it. But again, when there's so much information, sometimes you forget a little bit about, what you're trying to say. So what we're going to do is I'm going to head on over to my desk and I'm going to show you a little bit of what exactly my plan is, right? What exactly my investment plan is. So let's go ahead and move it on over now. Well, hello everybody, we are back. So we are now at my desktop, and as you can see, hopefully if I've done my editing right, you should see an Excel spreadsheet. This is my spreadsheet that I created. It's very, very simple. It's not that exciting, but I created this for myself to keep better track of my investment, how I invest, when I invest, how much I'm investing, and it just gives me a really good idea, very, very clear oversight and overview of my investments and how I move my money around. Why did I do this? Fidelity, I'll show you a picture here. It's got a really nice app, very nice user interface. It's very easy to navigate and use. But the issue that I have is I'm still learning a lot of this stuff. And so what I decided was I'm going to learn by doing, by creating myself. And so if you see here, you will see that I have basically a little pie chart here on the right, and it's got a breakdown. It's got basically 3 different index funds and 1 ETF. And I'm going to show you guys right here. So the difference between an ETF and an index fund is that an ETF sort of trades like stocks on an exchange throughout the day, while index mutual funds trade once a day at the closing price. ETFs are more flexible for active trading and can offer greater tax efficiency, while index mutual funds are often favored for long-term, set it and forget it investing with automatic contributions. So basically, I like the idea of an ETF because basically I can just plug it in to buy X amount every week, every other week, whatever. And again, you just kind of set it, forget it. And every quarter, because I've got Schwab US dividend equity, every quarter it pays me a dividend. And I love the idea of getting a dividend. I like the idea of just kind of sitting back. That to me sounds like the closest you'll get to passive income. And it just sounds cool. So I have that. I'd say it's probably about a third of my portfolio, probably a little bit less. As you see here, it's 39%. So a little bit over a third of my portfolio. And then the rest of that almost 2/3 is actually index funds. Basically, index funds are focused more on growth. I will show you kind of a chart here, if I can pull one up, of my majority share right here, which is FXAIX, which is a Fidelity 500 index fund. As you can see, it's got some pretty consistent, pretty steady growth. And it's again, I'm looking for a 10-year plan here, 10 years of growth. So I'm not looking to buy something and then sell it a week, a month, or a year down the line. I'm looking to buy and to hold and to have things that grow and can return to me over time. So again, let's take a look. Let's go back over to my chart, not my pie chart, but the actual numbers here. And I'm gonna just kind of show you what they mean. So I've got 5 colors right? The 5 colors. One color is to indicate each time I transfer money into my Fidelity account. It's very simple, very easy. I don't have any description here other than you can see it's got transfer in, no description, no symbol, no shares, my dollar amount. So that's the amount that I've put in, and for that particular movement. So every time I'm transferring in, if you look at my dollar amount, you can see that it is growing. Basically, the idea here is that if we move over 1 to my invested total, you can then see that's now the total of the growth of my portfolio. So I go from $20 to $60 after investing another $40. After investing another $20, I go up to $80 and then $40. So basically the idea here is that I just keep an idea. I keep a good visual of how much my contribution has been, because my Fidelity account, again, it's great. It's got a great user interface. It looks really nice and clean, but it's very hard to just see very quickly, oh, this is how much I've actually invested. So I've actually invested $500. It shows me my account value, but I want to actually see how much my contribution's been versus how much me buying my ETF and my index funds has actually done for me. So again, we go from invested total, we look over at my days end portfolio value. So each time I transfer money into my account, I also like to grab a little sample, if you will, of what my portfolio value is actually looking. And then basically you can see here, just going over one more, I have a profit and loss tab where it shows how much overall my account has grown in terms of dollar growth. So I'm not down to percentages yet. Things are of course going to probably change as time goes on, as I get better and improve. But basically I wanted a nice color-coded chart that shows me very simply, okay, I bought on this day Fidelity 500 Index Fund. I got 0.091 shares for $20. Basically, the idea there is just, it gives me a really nice, clean and crisp view. So again, I created this. I wanted to make myself something, because at the end of the day, I can watch all the videos on YouTubers that I want, but sometimes I just need to go out there and figure it out for myself. And so again, while I have the app that Fidelity has shown me, and it's really nice and really good. It's also, for somebody like me who's learning and starting out, it can be difficult to understand what all is being said. Because again, I'm new to this. I don't have a degree in this. I read a lot of books. I like books about money. I like watching interviews with investors like Warren Buffett. I love watching a personal favorite for mine would have to be CNBC's Financial Advisor Hub. I really enjoy that. I like the articles that they put. There's just so many resources out there that you can find. So again, if you want to learn something, the best way to do it is to just kind of immerse yourself in it. And that's what I do. I read what I can, I watch what I can, I listen to podcasts all the time. And if you guys are interested in figuring out what it is that I listen to, just let me know, and I'll comment those down below for sure. Because again, I just want to spread knowledge. But what I'm doing here, let's just go back to my investments here. I want to show you that my investment strategy is based on what I think is right. It's based on, of course, with the stock market, unless you're playing an unfair game, unless you're playing a game that you shouldn't be playing, it's unpredictable. You don't know where you're going, and so past performance is no guarantee of future result. But past performance can be a good indicator of how the company is headed, like where it is headed. And so I picked each one of these index funds and ETF based on my values, based on the companies that they invest in, that they're diversified into. And so I hope that this has kind of given you a good idea of why I picked what I picked. I'm hopefully gonna leave some descriptions of these individual ETF and index funds. so that you guys understand a little bit of what they are. I'll also write them down in the comments down below with a brief description. And so yeah, I hope this video helps you guys. I hope it kind of clarifies a little bit. And I hope that you also see the value in what I'm doing here. It's nice for me. It's exciting to branch out into a new direction, a new channel direction. So I really like it. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Take care and have an excellent week ahead. Alrighty, take care. Goodbye for now. Bye.